been a long week, but you know what makes this weekend worthwhile? It's the Shaman Bertanian derby. Liverpool against Spurs.
No.
And we're just talking about this off camera, and like it's such a tough one to pick. Both pretty inconsistent teams. Liverpool coming off a win against the greatest club in the world right now, Napoli, of course. So they're back to where they should be.
Yeah.
Spurs found a way once again to sneak into first place in the Champions League. What are you thinking, Albert? I mean, are you thinking a result in this one, or does draw scream to you?
Well, the Spurs in me just expects a loss. Like the thing with Spurs, they're gonna like whether it's a win or a lose, they're gonna do it in spectacular fashion. So I don't know which way to go. I don't trust either team. I mentioned it in rapid fire. Like Liverpool haven't won an away game. I think they lost 3 in a row. They're missing so many players. But Spurs, they can't put a consistent performance together. They're so bad in the first half that if you play a team like Liverpool and you're giving up goals in the first half and you have to come back in the second half against that team, it's not really going to work. And plus, they're missing Son. Kulusevski might be back, but no Richarlison, and their best defender in Christian Romero. So big problems at either side. If I had to pick, honestly, Liverpool.
Are you surprised they're dogs? Spurs are dogs in this one?
Yeah, not really.
A little bit, actually. I thought it'd be closer to a pick 'em, but I understand it because of the players that are out for Spurs. I think trump the players that are out for Liverpool because Spurs are missing players in their starting 11.
You know what makes all these games and all the leagues really interesting this weekend? Is that World Cup is looming now.
Yeah, big time.
On the horizon.
Just don't get injured.
Don't get hurt, right? There's 2 windows left in the leagues before.
Speaking about getting injured and whatnot, Messi, we talked about this, told PSG he's going to play his last game with them on the weekend.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to Argentina, or I'm going to training camp November 7th. I'm done.
Can you imagine the power the player must
Who
have?
else
It's in
could do
his
that?
contract. It's in his. But honestly, I kind of want like all of them to, because we saw Timo Werner is out for the count. We saw that yesterday. It's like almost every day we're getting a new notification saying somebody's injured.
Well, do you think we might see some yellow cards this weekend, or even a red card thrown into the mix?
Well, that's
Like
interesting.
players on suspensions, right? There's going to be a ton of them across Europe
Yeah.
who could get a yellow card this weekend and then get to miss the final match weekend in the domestic leagues.
Yeah.
I'd do it at this point.
I know Arsenal have
Take
a
your
few
shirt
players.
off. Celebrate
Yeah,
your goal.
exactly. Yeah.
I know.
Celebrate your
That's
teammates'
easy.
goal.
I know
Take your
Arsenal
shirt
have
off.
a few players actually who are just like a card away from a suspension.
World Cup
Jesus
players?
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, exactly. Take off your shirt.
Celebrate your teammates' goal, man.
I didn't think about that, but that's really smart. But there's 2 games after this weekend, I think, in league play remaining until the World Cup, which anything can happen really.
Because
Yeah,
there's
is
some
it
midweek
2?
action.
Well,
think so.
next
There might be a
weekend-
cup match
Next
as well.
weekend's this Carabao Cup coming up in
yeah.
England. I think Italy have
Coppa
a cup.
Italia.
Yeah, because they don't care.
Yeah,
To hell with the World
the
Cup.
cup games, it's going to be like the second team.
Yeah.
No one's going to be playing. But another big match we have to talk about is Arsenal and Chelsea. Looking like Chelsea are the favorites just slightly in this one, Stamford Bridge. But I honestly think Arsenal are going to come away with a dub. They had the one drop to PSV in the Europa League we saw last week. But Arsenal look really good. Like,
I'm done doubting them.
They are playing some class football.
I'm not done.
Mikey's like,
No?
all
I'm
right.
not done. I think this will be the start of Arsenal's Cinderella run crumbling right before the World Cup. Listen, Chelsea at the Bridge is always a tough test. Arsenal haven't been tested too many times.
They beat them there
this
last season.
They beat them there last season, sure. But I think overall this season, they haven't been tested too many times. And against, thinking back to that game against Manchester United, of course,
Yeah.
they were outplayed. Liverpool, that game could have went either way, I think. So I think at the Bridge, I think Arsenal will lose, and it opens a door for Man City, Fulham, and Man City. If they pick up 3 points, they're top of the table.
You're bonkers.
Yeah, when I say I'm
Mike.
done doubting them, I don't think that they're going to win the Premier League. I never thought that they were, but they can finish in the top 3 based on the way that they're playing. And
Fair.
My big concern with them was Europa League, but he's rotating almost the entire side, Mikel Arteta. So it's not like his starters are getting leggy. I mean, they will probably after the World Cup, like most players will, but I mean, they're just a really good team. I think we just need to understand that they can legitimately be in the top 3.
Well, you were saying earlier, Sarah, how we keep talking about this year being early in the campaign, but it's not. It's 40% done.
Yeah.
Right. That's
It's
a
the
lot of the
World Cup,
football
right?
finished.
Yeah. So no, that's what we were speaking about yesterday is that we are at a decent, we are nearly at the halfway point. Up to this point, it matters. It's not like, okay, you're going to have a bad game. Like this all is accumulating to, all these points that they're getting. And I think Arsenal, yeah, maybe they might have not had the toughest schedule or playing the toughest teams, but everything they're doing until now, they've held first place, and that is going to help them in the second half of the season. And I think you are just...
Are they going to win the league?
Yeah, let's go for it. I honestly thought Arsenal...
You don't sound too convinced.
Well, I mean, so far, the
yeah,
form would suggest
City,
they can.
Liverpool, United,
Yeah.
Tottenham, neither Chelsea, none of those teams have given me anything to go with.
Man City's winning the
true.
league.
No.
Honestly, Arsenal's only true competition so far this season, really, for the number one spot is Man City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that says a lot, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a stretch. I mean, it's early, but not early. It's so strange.
It's
man.
strange, but I mean, obviously City are the favourites. But I'm kind of with Sarah here. I don't see a weakness in this Arsenal team, and in the past we've doubted their steel and their ability to win games that they should win, and they're doing that this year, right?
They've done it so
They've
far.
been injury-free,
They're
right?
different.
Yeah.
They're just different, and we've been kind of blinkered by the Arsenals, the post-Wenger Arsenals, and even the last couple of years with Wenger, and how weak they were mentally. Well, this is a new manager now. He's got his team in place, his players, a lot of them. And we all watched the Amazon documentary.
Yeah.
He's obviously a great manager. And we keep saying, well, yeah, they're great, but they're not going to win. Well, at what point do we say the team in first place could win? You know, I think we're writing them up a little bit too soon here.
What I do like about this Arsenal team is, okay, they got Gabriel Jesus, which was a great get, but a lot of it's like internal growth and growing together as a team, right? They're clicking in terms of, you know, chemistry-wise, right? They're finding the right solutions on the pitch, and as you said, they're rotating their sides, so no matter who they're slotting in, they're picking up results. I'm not convinced yet, though.
So is the Man United fan.
Title contenders.
A lot of
I
their
just think Man City's just so dang good.
they are so good.
Yeah,
They're,
but they've
and they're
also
deep.
shown
They're
their
deep.
they are, but they've still shown their weaknesses. Like there's
Yeah.
still holes in this team somehow. I don't know how, because when you look at the team on paper, you're like, well, this is the best team in the world. But they still have, you know, matches in either the Prem or the UCL where you're like, how are you even, you know, allowing this team to score on you? Like, sorry, Sevilla, the state that Sevilla are in. Rafa Mir should not have ever scored a goal against City. I don't care if Haaland is
But
playing.
that was also a heavily rotated side for City.
Their heavily rotated side is still really good.
No, I understand that, but they know that they were through the Champions League. But I'm with you. I mean,
But they could draw PSG in the Champions League.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
Yeah.
a really good
That
team
changes
there,
everything.
right?
Yeah.
And that could derail a
Yeah.
campaign. You know, they crash out in February in
Yeah.
the Champions League, right? Or they could progress and you could build on that.
Yeah.
Haaland's back this weekend against Fulham. Well,
2 or more.
Hat-trick? Go for 20 goals this weekend?
Yeah, it would be 17 right now, isn't it?
So hat-trick. Can you imagine? That's
It could well be.
that was going to be my headline.
Fulham's
and I
due
was
for a
like,
spanking. Fulham's been a great story, right?
Yeah.
But they're not as good as they've shown.
I was surprised when I looked at the table this morning. Are you sure
They're
they're
not
in
bad.
seventh
Mitro's going to
place?
score
Yeah.
this weekend too.
Yeah. So what? 7-1.
yeah,
It
probably.
could be a spanking. That's all I'm saying,
Yeah.
right? And I hope I'm wrong because I
They
think
are due.
We
It's so
like
funny.
Fulham,
They're
but
totally due for a little
They're
little
due.
beat
yeah.
down.
MLS Cup Final.
Yeah, why aren't you guys
Sunday.
talking about MLS Cup Final? Come
Flat.
on.
Is Gareth Bale going to come off the bench and score?
It's
a goal
Sunday,
also?
right?
That's all I
He's
want.
not playing. Come
Sunday?
on, World Cup.
Is it like when is it?
Saturday.
Sorry, Saturday. Of course it is.
Saturday.
That's right. I should have known that. Yeah. Philadelphia, LAFC.
Yeah.
I appreciate MLS.
No, you
These
do.
guys
I will
do.
say-
No, I love the
will
MLS.
say.
You can't appreciate it when you say the
That's what I have
MLS.
to deal with on a daily basis. Yeah, no, big
yeah.
matchup this weekend. I know everyone here will be watching that game.
I will.
But to be honest, it's actually one of the best finals that we've had probably since 2017 when TFC Seattle faced off once again. It's the number one seed in the East versus the number one seed in the West. Both of these teams, like I said, halfway through the year, you probably would have predicted this final. So it's fitting that these two teams are facing off. And I think we'll see some good football because I think the league has progressed to a decent amount. And yeah, there could be the last time we see a lot of these guys play for their respective teams as European teams are lurking.
Mikey, you made a bet for the game.
Yeah.
I think Philadelphia moneyline, man. They're like plus 265, I think.
Really?
Because
Yeah.
it's in
the
LA.
final?
It's in
Yeah.
LA.
Oh, I'm on that
They're
for
big.
sure.
Yeah,
Philly
you
will
gotta
be
go
great, I
Philly.
think.
Who are you going for?
Well, I think LAFC will win it, but I'd love to see Philly win it. Just for as a purist
Yeah.
in me, you know, that's how you build a team. Like you said earlier or before, a different show.
Yeah.
You know, you grow from within.
Yeah.
You don't have to go out and just spend, right?
Yeah.
So I hope Philly wins, but I think LA will win. You got to own it sometimes, Albert.
the best.
You got to own it sometimes. It's very confusing.
Yeah, I know.
The way you do things, you know, a block here, a block there, a YouTube clip here.
right.
It's
And then
great.
everywhere
It's what
a
Room
block,
442 is. Great. All right. We're
It's
back on
Friday.
Monday. Enjoy the games. And you heard it right here. Philly on the money line.
+265.
Value.
Value.